From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
30 degrees at 6:05. Good evening. I'm Jonathan Dent. An Arnett County man is dead after the UTV he was in fell through the ice Friday afternoon. Emergency responders were called to Forest Lake and Moffett Township for reports of a person who fell through the ice around 3 o'clock p.m. They found an enclosed side-by-side with only the front wheels and bumper visible above the water. The driver of the vehicle had managed to escape to call for help, but the passenger was still reportedly trapped inside. Firefighters and law enforcement personnel recovered the vehicle but did not find the passenger. Saturday morning, Michigan State Police divers recovered the man's body. The incident is still under investigation. Officials with ACI Plastics in Flint announced the addition of a new $10 million recycling facility today. The new plant will be the state's largest processor of plastic film, such as shrink wrap and bags used in packaging. The new investment is partially funded through a $300,000 grant from Michigan's Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy, and a $150,000 grant from Michigan's Economic Development Corporation. Plastic pellets from the facility will be shipped to U.S.-based business customers, including Petoskey Plastics and Cascade Cart Solutions in Grand Rapids. ACI estimates that the new facility will add 25 to 30 jobs beginning as early as May of 2023. Saginaw residents have another opportunity to interact with police officers during tomorrow's Front Porch Roll Call. The event will be held at the East Side Soup Kitchen, located at 940 East Genesee Avenue at 6 o'clock p.m. Officers from the Saginaw Police Department will be available to answer questions and talk with members of the community. More information can be found at the Saginaw Police Department Facebook page. WSGW News Time is 6:07. The weather forecast is coming up.
The Bliss Bridal Wedding Expo and Fashion Show is Sunday, February 12th. The location is the Great Hall in Midland from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Admission is $5. Find out more by clicking on the Bliss Bridal box when you visit WSGW.com.
WSGW News Time is 6:08. Governor Whitmer announced the amount taxpayers will receive as inflation relief. All taxpayers are expected to receive an inflation relief check in the amount of $180. It'll cost the state $800 million, but is expected to come out of the $8 billion budget surplus. The governor says those who are struggling will benefit more from an increase of the working families tax credit.
Every filer will get that inflation relief check, but people who are struggling to get ahead and raising kids, or not raising kids, but working full-time and struggling, will get that $3,150 benefit under the working family tax credit. So it's thousands versus tens of dollars.
The relief checks still need approval from the state legislature, but should be sent out directly after approval. A Michigan State Police trooper is on administrative leave pending investigation into a deadly officer-involved shooting. Michigan News Network's Chris Kaiser reports.
Police say a trooper and cadet from the Michigan State Police Houghton Lake Post responded to a vehicle in the ditch on I-75 that had apparently driven off the road. Early investigation suggests the trooper made contact with the driver and believed him to be intoxicated. The trooper eventually fired his weapon, killing the man. It happened Friday night near Grayling, north of the West Federal High exit into Beaver Creek Township. The victim was identified as 48-year-old David Stockton of Tawas. Stockton was pronounced dead at the scene. The trooper was not hurt. Chris Kaiser, WWJ News Radio 950.
Students at 4 Great Lakes Bay region schools are talking about safe driving habits as part of a statewide initiative. Strive for a Safer Drive, or S4SD, is a program which gives participating schools $1,000 each for students to create a campaign to educate classmates on topics such as speeding, passenger safety, and distracted or impaired driving. This year, students from Dow, Freeland, and Vassar high schools, as well as the Bay Aranac Career Center, are participating. They will each submit a final project outlining their campaigns in April, and the top 5 schools from the state will earn cash prizes ranging from $500 to $1,500. Stay tuned. We've got much more coming up on the Evening Roundup.
Local news and information for Saginaw, Bay City and Midland, and all of the Great Lakes Bay region. It's not easy or convenient to get unless you get the WSGW newsletter. I'm WSGW News Director Denise Shannon. Every weekday morning, WSGW sends a newsletter highlighting your local news. It's a newsletter you can get for free in your inbox. Sign up online at WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and click on the WSGW newsletter sign-up box.
Wall Street starts the week lower as investors await the next Fed move. In New York, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all finished down. Stocks of local interest are lower. AT&T 1958 down a quarter. CMS Energy 63.45 up 70. Dow 60.09 up 9. DuPont 72.36 down 62. Corteva 60.70 down 80. HP 29.77 down 74. Huntington Banks 15.36 down 9. Independent Bank 22.91 down 13. Lumen Technologies 5.04 down 22. Home Depot 329.27 down 223. Walmart 140.68 down 103. GM 41.34 up 21. Trinzio 29 and a quarter down 115, and the price of a barrel of oil rose by $1.07 today, closing at 74.46 per barrel. This is Steve Anderson from Baird in Saginaw and Midland, wishing everyone a great night and even greater returns. The Business Final now continues with the Fox Business Report.
On Saturday, February 11th, the Disability Network of Mid-Michigan presents Feathers and Fedoras. It's a Roaring 20s gala to benefit independent living programs for people with disabilities. Grab your silk top hat, your best flapper dress, and prepare to foxtrot the night away with dance music by Stone Street Revival. Find Lady Luck at the casino. Hit the speakeasy for Giggle Waters. Feathers and Fedoras, Saturday, February 11th at the Doubletree in Bay City. For information and tickets, click on the Feathers and Fedoras box you'll find online at WSGW.com.
Good evening. This is the WSGW Farm Final for Monday, February the 6th, 2023. In Chicago today, mixed trading on the Chicago Board of Trade. We did see some positives. That was in the corn pit, but everything else pretty much was in the red at the conclusion. Over on the Mercantile Exchange, mixed trading going on there for much of the day. We'll see how that fared in just a moment. Sunshine came out this afternoon. Temperatures trying to warm up. We did make it to our projected high temperature with the help of that sun and the very light breeze. It looks as though things are going to deteriorate over the next few days. We're going to see a little bit more in the way of precipitation, a whole lot more in the way of clouds other than Wednesday, and much warmer temperatures. We'll get into the weather forecast for you in a moment, but back to those closing prices. White wheat finishing down 7 this afternoon at Star of the West. Frankenmuth as well as Cass City Rapsin white wheat at 7.10. The red wheat at 6.60. New crop down 7, 7.42 for the white wheat. Down a nickel on the red wheat at 6.92. Corn in Cass City and Frankenmuth up 2, 6.24. The new crop up a couple as well at 5.38. The soybeans down 11. In Frankenmuth, 14.46, new crop down 3 at 13.02. Over in the thumb area, 14.41 on the nearby soys, with the new crop at 12.97. We're looking for temperatures to drop down tonight. We'll see an increase in the clouds, looking for a low of about 29. And then after midnight, the temperature is going to begin to rise. We'll have a few spotty sprinkles around, but the best chance of that is going to be once again after midnight. A low-pressure system will be crossing the Upper Peninsula from the west to the east. That's what's going to generate the spotty sprinkles and increase our winds. We're going to be looking at wind speeds coming out of the south later tonight and early tomorrow morning, gusting right around 40 miles per hour. Now, during the day tomorrow, those winds will be bringing the spotty rain in early, but warmer temperatures with plenty of clouds as we go through the day. 45 for a high tomorrow, 27 for a low tomorrow night. Again, we're going to have to deal with the strong gusty winds until late in the evening tomorrow night. And during the day on Wednesday, light winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour, sunny skies, but then clouds will be moving in late Wednesday night. After a high of 42, we'll drop down to 33. Then on Thursday, upper 30s, right around 40, plenty of opportunity for rain. Measurable amount of rain is in the forecast. Don't be surprised if most of you see at least a half inch of rain in the gauge. That activity will be turning into some mixed precipitation on Thursday night. And on Friday, still a chance of some precip around, mostly snow, highs in the middle 30s. That's it for our closing prices this evening. Join us tomorrow for the early morning edition at 5:30 and your first look at the markets at 11:40 on WSGW.
News coverage.
The beating of Tyree Nichols.
The debt ceiling.
New moment in the battle against COVID.
Ice storm, coldest air of the seasons.
News.
Interest rates. Inflation.
U.S. economy adding 517,000 jobs last month.
News.
I'm retiring for good.
The U.S. has shot down a Chinese spy balloon.
And I commend President Biden's leadership.
This telegraphed weakness to Xi and the Chinese government.
News coverage.
6 more weeks of winter
on WSGW.